I'm saying the increase in tax revenue has come in handy when we are facing with a number of challenges, as we've indicated in the budget speech. We had to cover even unemployed, which has cost about 44 billion rand. Last year, within the same thing, we had the unrest, which cost us about 70 billion rand. So all of these things are quite pressing. And I must say the SARS team has done excellent work. So if you look at from February last year to date, so they've exceeded the target by almost 198 billion rand. So it fits in handy. It's going to help us to deal with our fiscal strategy.
Definitely much needed. The SARS Commissioner spoke about corruption in South Africa and how, as an entity and as a revenue body, they are dealing with that. What are your comments in that regard, especially when we have a despondency in the South African public that already still has a trust deficit when it comes to trust?
Let me just say, we as concerned as anybody else about action, what is critical is action. Last week, Friday, I met the top team of the police and emphasized the agents in this matter. I've had a preliminary discussion with the Minister of Justice and their team, because what is needed is swift action. You must have seen that the SARS said they've referred 20 cases that are in the court roll. And the fact that there's no movement in dealing with those issues, to me, is a matter of concern. And we'll be dealing with the criminal justice team colleagues to create an environment where these corruption cases at every level, even in municipalities, that there must be a swift action.
Lastly, we got a bit of good news from you yesterday with regards to measures that are being put in place to ease the pressure on South Africans with regards to the petrol price, and that's in the form of the fuel levies. Talk to us more about how you arrived at that decision, because the criticism since yesterday has been that it is a bit of a minute figure to remove.
Look, I don't want to mislead South Africans and say, I want to say it's going to be a tough time, because South Africa is a price taker insofar as the fuel price is concerned. We have got no control over it. So other countries produce fuel, we don't, and therefore we're a price taker. Now that takes me to the challenge, what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do with that intervention over the next 2 months is purely a transition, so that we become used to this reality. And you must have said, that's what I said yesterday. So our intervention is purely on a 2-month basis as a transition. In thereafter, we're looking at other aspects of deregulating the price of petrol, so that it can become competitive rather than be rely on government setting the price.